So today I want to talk a little bit about DHT as a hormone. I'm not a doctor. I can only talk about my personal experience. I did take finasteride for 6 months, and I did notice that it really improved my hair, but I also noticed some side effects. So I started doing more research into DHT, and I really disagree with the fact that it's some kind of junk hormone. So your brain basically converts testosterone into DHT as a signaling mechanism to different areas of your body. It is much stronger, about 5 times stronger than testosterone. And testosterone can also be converted into a form of estrogen, whereas DHT cannot be converted into estrogen. And the thing I really don't like about this argument is it's like saying, well, you can survive with one kidney, you can survive without your tonsils, you can survive without your gallbladder, your appendix. But we found out later all of these things are very useful and they serve an important function in your body. And if, say, 90% of men go bald at some point in their life, well, maybe there's a reason that men go bald. Maybe it's a way of extending out our fertility or extending out our masculinity. After all, losing hair on the top of your head, is just a cosmetic affect. So let's talk about some of the things I noticed when I went on finasteride. Well, first off, I had a 5 milligram dosage. So the doctor basically gave me the wrong dose. That's the dose you would take for someone on prostate medication. So I took the 5 milligrams for about a week until I figured that out, and it completely killed my libido entirely. And I switched down to about 1 milligram a day, and my libido came back some, but it was definitely, and anyone who tells you that finasteride isn't a trade-off between your libido and other functioning is probably not telling you the truth. There is definitely a link there. The second thing I noticed was more of a brain fog. I mean, people don't realize that the finasteride actually crosses the blood-brain barrier, as does DHT. It is actually a precursor to several neurosteroids in the brain, and it does play a role in mood regulation, anxiety, and cognitive function. So as someone with manic depression, I am much more sensitive to that, and people with mental issues may have a much more severe reaction to a 90% reduction in their DHT levels. And I just want to be clear that DHT is literally the hormone that turned you into a man. In the womb, the reason you have male genitalia is because you were flooded with DHT. You went through puberty because you had DHT. It is the quintessential male hormone. So that's just my opinion on the whole DHT issue. I think science is probably going to come out. Research is being done now, but they're going to come out 10, 20 years from now and be like, oh, we made a mistake. DHT is actually a really important hormone to men, even as they age, And if I had a big issue with my hair loss for a while there. You can look at my hair now and it's pretty thick. I'm still kind of losing it a little bit, but I just focused on stress and diet. I'm on a low-carb diet. I focused on reducing my stress and my hair came back. I'm 41 years old, so I probably have a while before I lose my hair anyway. A lot of this is mental, unless you're a male model or you work in a profession where it's very important that you keep your hair, it's really not that important, and it's not a male issue to be overly concerned and vain about your appearance. Men are not typically the ones that will modify and their body to achieve a particular cosmetic result. That is typically reserved for some women who choose to modify their bodies in that way. That's not what it means to be a man internally. Being a man is about exerting your influence externally and being okay with who you are on the outside as a person, because you have that confidence and charisma to get through. So rather than radically modify the hormonal balance in your body, you might want to consider working on the mental issues that are really bothering you with your baldness first. And that's something I had to deal with going through kind of a midlife transition at 40, and I pretty much got over it, and I still have my hair. So do your own research on DHT. I'm just saying that for me, I'm not going to reduce a hormone that makes me male.